been a little bit since I've done one of these, but I've got my hands on a bunch of new travel gear over the past few months. So in today's video, I wanted to cover some of my favorite pieces of new travel gear for 2023. Up first, we've got a longtime favorite of mine, but with some new additions and improvements, and that is arcade belts. So just in case you're not familiar already, arcade belts are travel-friendly belts. By travel-friendly, they mean that they're entirely metal-free, so in my experience, you'll be able to go through TSA and any airport security without having to take your belt off or deal with any extra hassle. First off, they're made of 85% post-consumer recycled materials, which is always great to see, but they're also just really stretchy and comfortable belts. With all of my pants having stretch in them, I really have grown to dislike wearing belts without any stretch, and these are some of the stretchiest and most comfortable belts I've ever worn. They're also only like $30 to $35, so they're really inexpensive. Another bonus is that you can leave them on your pants when you launder them. They're completely washer and dryer safe, so it's really great just to be able to put them on and kind of set it and forget it sort of thing with different pairs of pants. Last year they moved into using the recycled material. This year they've redesigned their belt buckle with the new A2 belts. The design difference is subtle, but it is a really welcomed addition. They designed this so it's able just to clip in a lot easier. That was my only one like minor complaint, is you do have to kind of fumble with clicking these in all the time. This new belt design is excellent, and I'm looking forward to seeing them transition all of their belts into this newer design. I hope that's the plan, at least, because I do really like the changes that they made. So new for this year is that A2 designed buckle, but they also come out with new colorways and designs and patterns all the time. They just recently expanded their National Park series of belts. This is a Great Smoky Mountains one here and a Gray Glacier National Park one here. I'm a big fan of all the outdoors type of stuff. I have a Smokey the Bear belt, was my older arcade belt that I still use all the time. Even if you don't like outdoors things, there are some like normal patterns and simple patterns and all kinds of things. You know, they've probably a couple hundred on there if I had to guess, but really great designs, really affordable price, super practical, super comfortable. I just can't speak highly enough of these for anyone on a day-to-day basis, but especially for anyone that travels. Just not having to take your belt off is so nice. And moving into tech next, we have the new OmniCharge 40 Plus battery bank. Now, as of recording this still doesn't have an official release date. OmniCharge sent this out to me as a review unit a couple of months ago to test and share my thoughts on. I was a huge fan of the OmniCharge 20 Plus from a couple of years ago. Talked about that several times on the channel and really loved it. They came out with the 40 Plus now, which is a 38,000 milliamp hour battery and a relatively compact package, but it's not just the battery capacity with these. They have a ton of additional ports and features. I'm gonna go over everything really briefly here. So in total, you get a 100-watt USB-C port, two 30-watt USB-C ports, two 18-watt USB-A ports, and you get a 100-watt AC plug and a 100-watt DC port in here. Tons of capability with that. I love having a physical plug on some of these bigger battery banks. I think it comes in handy for a ton of things. You know, things like that portable projector that I talked about last year a few different times. You never know when you need a proper plug, and when you're investing in a bigger battery like this, I think it is a welcomed addition. One other thing worth mentioning on the note of the ports, this also does work as a USB pass-through device. From my understanding, they mainly designed this for extended remote work use with a computer, so you can actually use the USB port as a USB pass-through to transfer data as well as power. So that's really cool. You also have a little OLED screen on here. This was one of my favorite things on the 20 Plus, but it'll show obviously the charge of the battery itself, but it'll show the transfer speeds from anything that you have plugged in. Super useful and super helpful. Tons of functionality and truly a premium feel in the hand. I'm not quite sure what the pricing is going to be on this yet. Like I said, it's an early unit. I sent an email this morning before recording this to see if they have a release date or any info yet. I'll put it in some text here if I hear back from them. But if you're in the market for a larger capacity battery, but not quite something as big as like a Jackery that's meant more for like camping or emergency use, keep an eye out for the release of this. I've been really pleased with this just as much as the 20 Plus that I reviewed before. Next up on the list, we've got something that isn't technically new for this year, but brand new to me, and that is the Scrubba wash bags. The Scrubba is essentially just a dry bag with a few features designed to be able to do travel laundry. You all already know I'm a big fan of doing sink laundry and packing a little bit lighter and just washing your underwear and socks as you go if you're traveling long term. This is essentially kind of an improved version of sink laundry. Like I said, it's a dry bag, but you have these little agitator nubs on the inside that are designed to wash your clothes. The material is a 40D TPU coated nylon, so it actually is going to be pretty lightweight. The mini one here is 70 grams and the full size one is 150 grams. I think the 40D fabric is plenty durable while still keeping your pack weight down, and I really like the idea of this over something like sink laundry that I've always done in the past, because sometimes sinks are a little dirty depending on where you're staying. You just add in your clothes, you add in some water and soap, you kind of roll it around, and then when you take the clothes out to dry it, you can use a little travel towel and kind of wring everything dry pretty quickly. All in all, the washing functionality has been great. I've used the mini a handful of times already. This will hold a couple pairs of socks or a couple pair of underwear. I do have a full size one as well. Admittedly, I haven't tested or used it yet. I usually am just washing socks and underwear when I'm on the go, but this one will hold fold 2 shirts, 2 pairs of socks, 2 pair of underwear. But yeah, this will hold, a couple pairs of underwear or a couple pairs of socks. To double up on the use as well, this can serve as kind of a dirty laundry bag in your luggage as well. So I really like having that double purpose. All in all, I just thought these were really cool. I know they're not new, but they're brand new to me, and there was such a fascinating and interesting story with these. Wanted to share that with all of you in this video. Really quick before we get to the next item, I want to take a minute to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is Aura. As you all know, I'm a huge advocate for online security. It is disturbingly easy for people out there to find personal information on you through something as simple as a Google search, let alone if anyone knows their way around the dark web. I've searched for my own personal info before just to see what was out there, but it always ends up leaving me feeling a little bit helpless, because even when I find something, I don't really know what to do about it. All of this info is out there because of data brokers who profit from our personal information by selling it to robocallers, spammers, and anyone that wants to learn more about us. That's why I'm happy to tell you about today's sponsor, Aura. Aura helps identify data brokers that are out there exposing your personal information and will automatically send opt-out requests on your behalf. I did a scan for this after I signed up for Aura and found 30 different data brokers that were selling my information. On top of this, they'll also submit opt-out requests for any junk mail or telemarketing lists. Their app also includes a password manager, a VPN service, and real-time credit and identity theft monitoring. It's essentially like a one-stop shop for almost every tool you need to stay secure online. You can go to aura.com/JoshFenn to try it completely free for 2 weeks. The link will be down in the description below, or you can scan the QR code directly. Huge thanks again to Aura for sponsoring this week's video and making such a solid service. Next item on the list is this tiny little cable called the InCharge X. It is essentially a one-stop shop for all of the different ports that you might need while you're traveling. So on one side you have a USB-A and a USB-C port. On the other side you have a USB-C port as well as a Lightning/micro USB port. This really piqued my interest because even though I've been working towards USB-C'ing all of my tech, I still have a couple of old tech holdouts that use micro USB, and I'm definitely an iPhone user, so I still have Lightning for now. Having a tiny little cable like this is a great way just to throw it in your bag and have it in case you need it. It supports Apple's 18-watt fast charging and otherwise can get up to 100-watt charging out of this little cable. It's $30 for the small cable. They do also make the InCharge XL, which is essentially the same ports and functionality, just with a longer cable. I do worry a bit about these hinges on the different ports. It kind of gives it a little bit of a cheapness in the feel. I'm not sure if there's really a way around it while still being able to have all of this functionality. but I do worry, years down the road how this might hold up. But years down the road, we might not need these extra ports. So we'll just kind of see how things go. But so far, several months of using this. My last trip to Michigan a couple months ago, I brought this with me and was really happy with it. Used it several times, and yeah, just really nifty little cable here that I think is a great addition to just about anybody's travel bag. Excuse the crinkling, but we've got a rain jacket up next. This is the Outdoor Vitals Tusher rain jacket. This released in the fall, and I've been looking for a new really ultralight rain jacket for quite some time for backpacking mainly, but having a really good rain jacket that you can throw into your pack really easily for traveling can be a really essential piece of kit. The large size of this jacket weighs only 7.4 ounces, which is totally crazy and a lot less than you might think for a jacket with these specs and features. In the ultralight backpacking community, you can sometimes find jackets that are going to be in a 4 to 5 ounce range, but they are very bare bones. They look ugly, you have no extra features. This is essentially a feature-rich jacket that still falls into that ultralight category. I thought it was super fascinating. I think the price is really reasonable as well. Outdoor Vitals has sent me a couple of jackets in the past, but I did buy this one myself just because I loved what they did here with it. And so far, a few months of use, it has held up and performed as well as I hope. Without getting unnecessarily technical here, the main difference with this jacket compared to anything else I've seen is they use two different membranes for the waterproofing. Different membranes will have different qualities. Some will be more hydrophobic, some will be more hydrophilic, essentially more waterproof or more breathable. They kind of mapped out the jacket to have more breathable areas and less stress points, and more waterproof areas and the higher stress points where water will sometimes be able to seep in over time. In addition to the unique membrane that they have, you also have full pit zips on here, which is really helpful if you're doing any outdoor activities. You have a full YKK AquaGuard zip here. You have a chest pocket. Just a really cool jacket, and something I think would compete with jackets, $100, $150, $200 more expensive than this. It only weighs 7.4 ounces and packs into about the size of a soda can, so I think this is an easy pickup for anyone looking for a rain shell for any long-term travel or outdoor activities. Next up on the list, we have the Air Go Pack 2. This was part of the Go collection that came out in the fall. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to put out a full review of the whole collection, but I've been using and loving just about everything from it over the past several months. The Go Pack, which is the backpack in the collection, is a 20-liter bag that weighs just a little over a pound, so about half a kilogram, and it packs completely flat. The entire collection was designed to be really lightweight and easy to pack, so you can use it at your destination without having to carry an extra bag. Having extra backpacks or an extra sling bag when you get to somewhere is really helpful if you do a lot of your traveling and adventuring on foot. That's definitely how I like to travel. This is a 210D Blue Sign approved Cordura crinkle nylon. I really love the look and feel of this, and it's so nice to see, something a little bit different from Air, which is one of my favorite backpack companies. It's still plenty heavy duty for most use cases, and it lightens up the bag significantly compared to the 1680D Cordura that Air uses in a lot of their other packs. I've taken this on one trip, and I've actually used it as a daily backpack for a little bit as well, and I'm really happy with it. You still have YKK zips, you have Duraflex hardware, you have this really nice quick access pouch in the front here with a magnetic clasp, so you can kind of throw in a jacket or something. Really great for when you're on a plane and just want some quick access items. This makes like a perfect size for a personal item on a plane, even packed completely full. It's still small enough where you're not really going to raise any questions. You also have two full water bottle holders on each side, and I was able to fit my 1 liter Lark bottle in here easily. And then on the back, you still do get that luggage pass-through, which is really nice if you're carrying a roller bag. All in all, this was just such a nice addition to Air's lineup. I was thoroughly impressed and a bit surprised, to be honest. It's $100. I love the look and feel of this other fabric compared to the normal 1680D Cordura from Air. The tote as well, my wife has completely taken over. It's been her daily bag through the winter months here. really great lineup of products. Be sure to let me know if you want me to do like a long-term review of the Go collection. I was a bit disappointed I missed the initial launch to put a video out, so if anyone is interested on some longer-term thoughts on this, as well as the tote or the duffel or the sling, be sure to let me know down in the comments. Next up, we've got another bag that's definitely not designed for air travel, but is a great companion for any sort of road trips or outdoor adventures you might be going on for 2023, and that is the Filson Dry Roll Top Tote. Wolfie is fascinated by the rubbery sound of this bag, so I'm just going to keep going. This is a 40-liter bag that uses an 840D TPU coated nylon. This thing is really thick and burly, and the TPU coated nylon makes it fully waterproof, not like some bags that are waterproof but use a DWR coating on them. This is going to be fully waterproof with no DWR needed, so it's not going to wear out over time. It's a roll top tote as well, so you just kind of roll it up and cinch it, and then you lock in with the buckles here. This is the perfect beach bag or camping bag. I actually got this last summer. This is probably the least new out of everything that we've talked about today, but I really loved it and thought it was a really unique, nice addition to throw in here if anyone is planning any like good outdoor adventures or road trips this year. It's really big, a lot bigger than I originally had anticipated. You have the option of a handle up here. You know, you have a shoulder strap, you have a ton of attachment points if you want to throw a carabiner and a water bottle on here or something. It's definitely rugged and built to last, and definitely great just to have something to be able to keep everything dry if you're going to be out in any kind of conditions, or like I said, just something as simple as a beach trip. This is a great bag to bring along for that. But that was the last item for the video today. I really hope you all enjoyed it. I'd love to hear about your travels coming up for 2023. I've got a few things potentially in the works that are going to be exciting. I've got a trip to Vegas in a few weeks for a friend's wedding. All in all, it should be a nice time, and Wolfie is up and doing better again. Obviously, you can see him join in the video here, but thank you all so much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next one.